Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're plunging into a topic that might seem simple at first glance, but is actually incredibly profound. We're talking about journaling. And look, it's far more than just, that dusty diary you might have hidden somewhere. It's really emerging as this powerful tool for self-discovery, for well-being. So our mission in this deep dive is pretty clear. We want to explore why journaling has become so significant for so many people, how it genuinely impacts mental health, creativity too, and maybe most importantly, how you can actually start and crucially sustain your own journaling practice. We've sifted through a whole stack of curated sources to give you a kind of shortcut to understanding this really impactful tool.
Yeah, it's fascinating because it really isn't just some passing fad. Journaling is a practice with, well, scientifically backed benefits. We're talking about real help for emotional processing, for personal growth. It offers so much more than just sort of anecdotal feel goods. So yeah, this is deep dive. It's going to give you actionable insights, definitely, but also some facts that might genuinely surprise you. Hopefully you'll see journaling in a totally new light.
Okay, so let's kick things off by trying to grasp the scale here. Journaling. It might bring up images of like secret diaries, but the sources, they paint a much wider picture. Get this. In the U.S. alone, something like 50 million Americans journal regularly.
50 million, that's significant.
Right. It works out to about 15% of U.S. adults who are doing this consistently, and maybe 1 in 6 people are considered active journalers at any given time.
Wow.
And even beyond that, 38% of adults say they journal at least once a week.
Yeah.
So that points to a much bigger group of, let's say, occasional users. It's definitely not niche anymore.
No, absolutely not. And I think the real insight there is how journaling has sort of quietly democratized self-help in a way. It's become this incredibly accessible tool backed by evidence that people are using for everything from just daily stress management to like strategic planning. It goes way beyond just keeping a personal record.
So why are people turning to it? What are the big drivers?
Well, the motivations are pretty compelling when you dig in. For instance, a huge number, 74%, report improved mental clarity, just feeling less foggy.
Okay, clarity, that makes sense.
And it's not just self-reported stuff. 70% of mental health professionals, they actually recommend journaling for emotional wellness.
70%, that's a strong endorsement.
It really is. And digging deeper, 80% of people who journal say it boosts their mindfulness, their self-understanding. They just get themselves better. And maybe the most concrete finding for people feeling stressed, studies show daily journaling can actually lower your cortisol levels, that's your main stress hormone, by up to 35%.
35%. That's remarkable. That cortisol link really grounds the why in, well, tangible personal betterment, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's quickly on demographics. It's interesting, sources say women are about 40% more likely to journal than men.
Interesting difference.
Yeah, and students and entrepreneurs, they're apparently among the most active groups. They use it for stress, sure, but also for, like, strategic thinking. So bottom line, whether you're managing a super busy life or just seeking a bit more clarity, if you're thinking about journaling, you're definitely in good company.
Okay, so if those numbers have maybe piqued your curiosity, the big question becomes, where do you even begin? Because let's be real, a blank page can feel pretty intimidating.
Oh, absolutely. It really can. I think the first step, and honestly, maybe the most crucial one, is to define your why. Like, what are you hoping to get out of it? Is it emotional release, stress reduction, maybe deeper self-reflection? Or are you looking for a tool for tracking goals, boosting productivity?
Right. Understanding that motivation first is key because it helps you tailor the whole approach, your style, what you write about to your needs. Makes it way more effective.
That makes total sense. So nail down the why first. Then I guess it's about choosing your tools, your medium.
Precisely. And you've got options. You can go totally traditional notebook and pen and, feel free to make it your own. Use different colored pens, markers, maybe even stickers if that's your thing.
Yeah, make it appealing.
Or you could go digital. There are tons of apps out there which offer convenience, searchability, things like that. And hey, if writing isn't your favorite thing, voice memos or even video recordings can be incredibly effective too. It's still journaling.
Okay, good point.
And beyond just the how, there's the what. There are so many types of journals. You've got gratitude journals focusing on positivity.
I've heard of those.
Yeah, they're great. Then there are structured bullet journals, guided journals that give you prompts, totally free-form ones for just dumping your thoughts. Even art journals, mixing writing with sketches or collage. It's really about finding what kind of calls to you, what feels right.
Okay, lots of options. But, starting is one thing. Sticking with it, that can be the real challenge. What do the sources say about actually integrating this into your life consistently?
Yeah, that's a really important question. Consistency is often where people stumble. Finding your rhythm is crucial. Our sources suggest setting realistic goals. Maybe that's just a few minutes each day, or maybe it's a longer session once a week, whatever works for you. But then actually schedule it. Treat it like an important appointment.
Put it in the calendar.
Exactly. And also try to create a comfortable space for it. A quiet spot, maybe somewhere inspiring, definitely free from distractions.
Makes sense. What about hitting roadblocks like writer's block?
Ah, yes, the blank page fear. It's common. If that happens, don't just stare at it. Try using a journal prompt to get you started. Or just do some free writing. Literally write anything that comes to mind, no matter how random. Just keep the pen moving.
Just get words down.
Right. Or even just change your environment. Write somewhere different. Another hurdle can be perfectionism. People worry about grammar or making it sound good.
Yeah, I can see that.
You've got to let that go. Remember, this is for you. It's about honest expression, not a graded essay. Embrace the messiness. It's your thoughts, your process.
Good reminder. Embrace the messy.
And finally, for consistency, if you're really struggling, maybe consider joining a journaling community online or offline, or finding an accountability partner. Sometimes just knowing someone else is doing it too can really help.
That's really practical advice. Okay, so let's say you're ready. You've got your why, your medium. What kind of journaling can you actually do? Because it seems like there's a huge variety out there, a method for pretty much everyone.
Oh, absolutely. The variety is amazing. While there are countless specific techniques, our sources highlight about 10 popular methods that really stand out. First up, you've got bullet journaling. This one's huge for organization. It combines task tracking, habit logging, and personal reflection, often using simple symbols, dots, circles, dashes in a structured layout. Great for productivity lovers.
Okay, the Bujo method, got it.
Then there's stream of consciousness or free writing. This is where you just write. No filtering, no editing, just let the thoughts flow onto the page. It's fantastic for releasing emotions, untangling thoughts, mental decluttering.
Just pure brain dump.
Exactly.
Oh.
Related to that are morning pages, popularized by Julia Cameron in The Artist's Way. It's 3 pages of that kind of unfiltered writing, ideally first thing in the morning. Really aims to clear the mental cobwebs and boost creativity.
3 pages. Every morning, okay.
It's a commitment, but powerful for some. Then, for boosting positivity, there's gratitude journaling. Simple concept. List things you're thankful for. Really effective for enhancing mood, shifting mindset.
Simple but effective.
Definitely. Now, for the more visually oriented folks, there's art journaling. This combines writing with visual elements, doodles, sketches, paint, collage, expressing emotions through imagery and color, not just words.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Creative outlet.
Totally. Then there's nature journaling, which is about recording observations from the natural world. Sketches, notes about plants, animals, weather. Great for mindfulness and connecting with your environment. Dream journaling is another fascinating one. You capture your dreams right after waking up, used for exploring the subconscious, finding creative inspiration in dream imagery.
You need to keep it right by the bed for that one.
Absolutely. Quick recall is key. Next, reflective journaling. This is more analytical. You look back at daily experiences, emotions, trying to identify patterns, learn from them, foster growth. Then prompt-based journaling uses specific questions or themes to guide your writing. This is fantastic if you're a beginner, or if you just want to dive deeper into particular topics without staring at a blank page.
Prompts are super helpful for getting started.
They really are. And finally, affirmation journaling. This involves writing positive statements about yourself, your goals, your worth. It's aimed at building self-esteem, kind of rewiring those negative thought patterns.
Wow, that's an incredible toolkit, really. 10 distinct approaches. It just hammers home that this is not a one-size-fits-all thing at all, is it?
Not in the slightest.
Remember, everyone listening, it's genuinely about finding what resonates with you. Don't be afraid to experiment, mix and match. And like we said, if you ever feel stuck, use those prompts as a springboard. Simple things like, what went well today, what was challenging, or what 3 things are you grateful for right now? You could even try something more evocative, like describe a place where you feel completely safe and peaceful, or maybe even write a love letter to yourself. Celebrate your own strengths, your resilience.
Great examples. Prompts really open things up.
Okay, so we've covered the why so many people do it, the how to get started and stick with it, and the what, all those different methods. But now let's get to the real core, the so what. How does just, writing stuff down actually create tangible differences in our mental health
Mm-hmm.
and our creativity. Because the claim is this isn't just like fluffy self-care, it's a scientifically backed tool.
Exactly. And when you break down the benefits systematically, it becomes really clear how profound the impact can be. Let's start with mental health because the evidence there is quite strong. Journaling significantly helps with emotional regulation and stress relief. Techniques like expressive writing, just writing about difficult experiences, have been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, even PTSD.
How does that work physiologically?
Well, it seems to activate parts of the brain involved in regulating emotional responses. It also helps create a kind of psychological distance from distressing thoughts. There's a term for it, cognitive diffusion.
Cognitive diffusion. It's like stepping back from your thoughts.
Precisely. You learn to observe them without getting totally tangled up in them, like watching clouds pass by instead of being in the cloud. This allows for a release of pent-up emotion, helps you identify and understand your feelings and what triggers them. And importantly, it encourages more positive self-talk over time. And as we mentioned earlier, that cortisol reduction up to 35%, that's a direct physiological benefit related to stress.
So it's not just feeling better temporarily, it's actually helping rewire how our brain responds to stress.
That seems to be the case. It helps build new neural pathways for emotional processing. Beyond stress relief, journaling is huge for self-awareness and insight. Just the act of writing encourages reflection. You start to see patterns in your thoughts, your behaviors that you might otherwise miss. This naturally boosts emotional intelligence, self-confidence, and promotes mindfulness, being present.
Makes sense. You're paying closer attention.
Exactly, and that builds resilience and healing. It helps you develop better coping skills. You process things instead of just reacting. Our sources even point to studies suggesting it can speed up physical healing and reduce the impact of stress-related illnesses. Gratitude journaling specifically is strongly linked to improved mood and fostering optimism.
Wow, physical healing too.
Indirectly, likely through stress reduction and immune system effects. And major health organizations like the NIH have linked journaling practices to decreased mental distress, increased overall well-being, and actual reductions in depressive and anxiety symptoms. So yeah, it boosts mood, encourages self-care, and can even indirectly help with sleep because you're getting those racing thoughts out before bed.
That is an incredibly comprehensive list of mental health benefits. It really does position journaling as a serious, accessible therapeutic tool.
Okay, but what about creativity? How does writing about your feelings translate to, say, having better ideas? Well, the link is surprisingly direct. Journaling is actually a powerhouse for idea generation and brainstorming. Think about free writing or stream of consciousness.
Right, the brain dump methods.
Those techniques are fantastic for unlocking spontaneous ideas that might be lurking just below the surface. Your journal then becomes this amazing repository, a safe place to capture creative sparks, random thoughts, observe emerging patterns over time.
Like an idea bank.
Exactly. It's also brilliant for reflection and feedback on your creative process itself. You can look back at past entries, see how your ideas evolved, maybe figure out what worked or didn't work on a project. Some people even keep emotion diaries alongside creative work to track how their mood affects their output or vice versa.
Interesting. Tracking the intersection.
Yeah, and journaling can really help achieve that coveted flow state, that deep focus where you're fully immersed in doing your best work. How? By helping clear out the mental clutter before you start creating. It enhances clarity, helps you set creative priorities, maybe even track progress towards goals.
Okay, clearing the path for focus.
And finally, it encourages experimentation and play. Your journal is a totally risk-free zone. You can try out new writing styles, sketch wildly different ideas, explore visual journaling, dabble in poetry, mixed media. Anything goes. So techniques we discussed earlier, like free writing for subconscious ideas, mind mapping within your journal to organize complex thoughts, or dream journaling for symbolic inspiration, they all directly feed your creative engine.
It really connects the dots between inner exploration and outer expression.
Fantastic. So wrapping up, it seems clear that journaling is deeply personal. There really is no right or wrong way to approach it. I think the most important takeaway is to view it as a supportive, enriching practice for you. Something that helps you explore your inner world, maybe navigate life with a bit more clarity, more well-being. And remember to celebrate the small steps, the little insights along the way. Absolutely. And perhaps a final thought to leave you with, given everything we've touched on, the sheer number of people finding value in it, the scientific impacts on stress, mood, self-awareness, creativity. How might regularly dedicating just, say, 5 or 10 minutes to your inner thoughts, truly listening to yourself on the page, how might that fundamentally shift your approach to daily challenges? Or maybe unlock a creative potential you didn't even know you had?
That's definitely a powerful question to ponder. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of journaling. We hope it's given you some inspiration to perhaps pick up a pen or open an app and just see where it takes you. Go forth, reflect, and grow.